So guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the Ian West Network, and if you're looking at the page, I do have the eBay messages somewhere on this screen, in addition to the photos of not only the defective Ada, but also the one that I was supposed to get. The one that looks better, obviously looks like the character from the actual game, is the one that I'm comparing this to, so it'll just be around the screen. I'm not gonna make this a super long video, but they did actually respond, and I wanna give an update because I know a lot of times we as consumers will buy something and just kind of chalk it up as a loss, or we go to work and the person messes up our overtime, we kind of chalk it up as a loss. But you should get what it is that you deserve because you paid for it, you earned it, it's yours, and you should be able to get it. And even if I can't get a refund, that's okay if I can't get it. But you should also still, just, I'm not gonna say advocate, but just fight for what's right. I don't know how corny that sounds, but it's the truth. I work hard. I work all the time. I started a YouTube career. It's doing pretty well. I have my regular job and whatnot and other prospects and things that I do outside of my regular job. And I built myself up so that I can do these things and take care of my family. And it's a shame that there are people out there that are just willing to steal and rob from you just so they can make a dollar. So you see the message on the side. I'm just going to read it from my phone right here. All this is edited after the fact. So the guy actually responds to us. This time on yesterday, as a matter of fact, at 2:17 a.m. because of the time difference of where he lives across the seas. Normally about 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. That's when this guy normally responds. He says, "Hello, can you please let me know how much refund you want? I am happy to help you solve this problem. If it doesn't work, I am willing to refund you 20. Would you be willing to change negative feedback to positive feedback?" Now the person is saying instead of $8, which they previously said they were going to give us for scamming us of a figurine that they knew was not of the photos that they shown. So imagine ordering something offline. Amazon, for example. This has happened off Amazon too, and I got my money back on Amazon though, because they're a more reputable company. They gave me a problem too, but at least they can track the seller or verify what happened. There were other people that said the same thing, and that person eventually was removed off of Amazon, I'm assuming, or they closed off their account because I didn't see them anymore moving forward after enough people complained. And trust me, they were complaining. You haven't given us $20 back. The thing is, what makes you think I'm going to leave a negative, remove the comment before I get my compensation? You were selling something on eBay knowing full well that it was a scam. Probably still selling the product to this day for all we know if they have multiple ones. And now you want me to remove it before I receive my compensation? Now, for people out there thinking, well, what's the big deal? Listen, I'm not giving in to these type of people. At the end of the day, all I'm going to say is you are at the mercy of me at this point. I don't have to do anything to accommodate you. If you're willing to rob someone and then you're going to ask them for their assistance, that's like taking someone's phone, what they used to do back in the day, and then asking them, hey, can you unlock it for me? Like, I'm not going to assist you in robbing me. And those are true stories that used to happen to people online. So my wife actually messaged them and said, I'm not removing my feedback until I receive my partial refund. You scammed me and it's not negotiable. And she talked to me on the phone about this and she was mad. She was going to send something else, but I'm like, listen, what's done is done. Let's keep it professional and just move forward after that. Now, the irony about it is that when you look at a lot of these photos, like for instance, Ada's back on the photo, you can actually see the cheap design where her arms are, it's each piece was made individually. You can tell how cheap this actually is. The dress looks cheap with the double strap with the gun. It's supposed to be a single strap. Obviously, if you look at the originals that I have on the wall, side-by-side comparison, this is egregious, man. And I actually tore off the zombie hands, and it looks a lot better without the zombie hands. But every time I look at the original, you look at the gun on the scope. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad figurine, but it's not worth the asking price, especially since you basically lied about what it is that you're selling. Now, I use OfferUp from time to time, not often anymore, like maybe once every year or something like that. Whenever I do meet someone, it's probably Center City, close to where I work, places where there's cameras where people can get caught. And I'm not meeting you outside. I'll meet you in a spot where it's like there's security, there's a bank, a police station, any place that's public where if someone tries to attack me or something happens, law can step in while I'm defending myself. That's the way it's supposed to be, face to face. Unfortunately, eBay It's just, I look at it as OfferUp without a face. You know what I mean? Where people can just use it all around the world. And don't get me wrong, it's a decent business practice, but it's impractical or unrealistic more so to expect people to do the right thing, especially if they're overseas or something like that. It's like they'll never get caught. Yeah, their account might get blocked, but they'll never get caught. And I'm assuming the review was bad enough where it probably affects his sales. And I'm just going to say this, and I'm not trying to be heinous, but I have to, make a stand somewhere. If this person's bad reviews gets enough of them where it affects his livelihood, good. You deserve everything bad happening to you. If you can't make money, good. If you can't sell products, good. Even if you changed the error of your ways and did the right thing, and now you're selling products properly and giving the proper descriptions and all that stuff, I still don't care if you can't make any money, because you can't rob people and think that you're just all forgiven. You can't expect people to remove a review. You ignore the many warnings where we said we're not going to remove this negative review until you refund us the money. And even if you're saying, well, I don't have a guarantee that you do that. Well, we didn't have a guarantee that you send the proper product when we actually dealt with you, and you didn't. And we took that chance. And it is what it is. Like, you can't feel bad for people like this. I know that there are times where we're like, what would Jesus do? Well, he wouldn't let himself get scammed. I can tell you that. So that's just the update of the video. To be honest with you, there are some really good eBay sellers that I found online that my wife communicates with, that she does deal with. But the thing is, we're actually considering never using eBay again because it's just not worth it. Even if I could find something for cheap, is it really worth going through the headache of waiting weeks upon weeks for a product, depending on what part of the world it's coming from, just for it to be overly damaged, colored incorrectly, or just an entirely fraudulent product altogether? And you hear me speaking, this is all from experience. All these things has happened. Now, for the people out there that love eBay, I'm not here to tell you anything. Do your thing. I'm just telling my story and my experience. And to be honest with you, I could probably get my own 3D printer and print it out myself and get my own figurines if I want to get ripped off like this, because this is getting just ridiculous. But that's the video. Like and subscribe like always for the people out there. This is the update. Hopefully this is a little entertaining for you and it makes you just think twice about what you put your debit card numbers into, because you never know what is going to happen. Protect yourself. I don't care if you got to use a Cash App account and move money over and use it that way so that there won't be any reoccurring charges. People are scammers and they will do anything in their power to take from you. Some of them are heartless monsters. And unfortunately, we live in a really, really cold world. And I think I said unfortunately in that regard. Anyway, peace. See you guys in the next one.